Hello, today we're going to make chilli prawns with pasta. This is a very, very quick and easy dish. Very healthy. More importantly, it's low calorie. That's more importantly for some people. It's tasty, it's nutritious, and as I say, it's quick to make. Most dishes I do don't really take a lot of faffing about. I'm going to serve this for lunch. It's a very hearty lunch, but you could use the same ingredients, the same proportion of ingredients, and do it for say 6 for a starter for a supper party. You can use rice instead of pasta, but we fancy pasta today. So here we go. A little bit of olive oil in the frying pan. Okay, I am now going to put in, when I find what I'm looking for, thank you. I'm now going to put in onions. I've got red onions diced here, but it doesn't have to be red onions, I just happen to have some. Pepper again, I just happen to have yellow pepper I used. I try hard not to waste too much food, so I try to use what I've got. I've got a stick of celery cut up, got that in. Don't like celery, don't put it in, it's quite good for you. Clove of garlic and a whole chilli chopped up. If you don't like it too hot, take the seeds out. Frankly, my husband would have double the seeds, he likes a nice hot dish. So I'm going to put that on the hob to saute down for a little while. While that is happening, I'm just going to grate some Parmesan cheese to go on top of it. Now, this is a brilliant little thing. It's good for getting pith off of lemons and oranges if you want to make desserts, or even, you know, in some soups and stews, citrus is nice. I've got the Parmesan cheese. It's not cheap, and if you're on a diet, don't use it. This isn't a terribly expensive dish actually. I've got the raw prawns I bought, they were frozen. They were on offer, so they cost me £3. I've always got onions and peppers and garlic and stuff like that. Probably the most expensive thing here is I'm going to put some wine in and this Parmesan cheese. So let's grate this cheese a minute. While that's sizzling down. There you go. Don't want a lot, I'm just going to finish it off when the pasta's ready to be served. You might think you've got to have lots of gadgets. I like my little gadgets like this. It makes a difference actually. It's like a potato ricer for mashed potatoes. People say, oh well, I can mash potatoes. You can't. You can mash them, but you won't get them as smooth as potato ricer. And if you've got grandchildren like mine who can detect a lump at 1,000 paces, it's not worth the hassle. They're quite cheap on places like Amazon and that, or you can go for the luxury ones on places like Lakeland, doesn't really matter. Anyway, that's my Parmesan cheese, just enough to grate up to use in a minute. You may well be able to hear the vegetables sizzle in there. As I said, this is a quick and easy dish. Great for a starter because you can do it as people are just having a glass of wine and a chat as they arrive. Lovely, lovely. These prawns, as I say, they're nice big ones, peeled, frozen and raw, more especially, which is quite important. Just going to get some covered a moment and use that. So vegetables have been sizzling for a little while. I don't want them soft and mushy. I quite like a bit of bite, especially with the pasta. So there you go. You can see they're all mixed in together. I'm going to put the prawns in now. I'm going to quickly pop that back on the heat with this dish. Brilliant. The prawns will start to change colour, which I'll show you. There we go. You see that now, hopefully. There you go. Sorry, not very professional, but it saves a break in this video. So you will see now that the prawns are starting to change colour. They've got pink when they're cooked. Let them go. You don't want them to cook for too long. If prawns are cooking for very long, they go hard and tasteless and very chewy, no flavour, not very nice. All fish should be cooked very quickly and not faffed about with, basically, although you might say I'm faffing these. But you don't ever want to cook fish for a long while. It's not stew beef. It's a delicate flavour that needs to be preserved as much as possible. So those prawns are nearly all pink now. What I'm going to add next is my favourite to do, drop of white wine. Totally unnecessary, you don't need to do it, it just adds a bit of flavour. If you haven't got any wine, don't worry, it does add a bit of flavour, especially if you're doing it for a dinner party starter. Nice touch. But remember to make sure all your guests like chilli if you're doing that. I'm now going to add some chopped tomatoes. Actually, it's a couple of little cherry tomatoes that I had left over that I put in with it as well. It doesn't matter. I love tomatoes. I use them a lot. There we go. See how that goes on. Down to a nice sauce-like base, so just put a lid on that for a second, let the heat go through and melt. If you want, I put a little bit of chicken stock in. If you've got fish stock, brilliant. Just again to give it a bit of flavour. Don't want much, doesn't need much. A little bit like that will do. Pop that in. Yeah, it's sizzling away nicely now. The whole tomato sort of add to the effect. Now, if you want not so much a sauce as a gravy, so we really want to thicken that up. You can reduce it down. Quickest way to do it actually is just to add a little bit of tomato puree. Again, concentrates the flavour. Don't forget, when you're having tomatoes like this, they're very much part of your 5 a day or 10 a day or whatever you're signed up to do. Be amazed how much you can get, and I'm told even tomato sauce gives you the nutrients from tomatoes. So take it all back what I used to say to my youngest son, and he lived on tomato sauce for a little while. There you go. I also like my Italian seasoning, which you'll know if you watch my videos. A little bit of Italian seasoning, give it a bit more flavour. Ideal. Now I'm going to serve this. Two of us for lunch. So, 2 plates, 2 dishes. Thickening up nicely now, you can see. Prawns aren't too overcooked. Take you back to the table now. There you are. So we've got our dishes ready to go. I always put a plate under the dish. Very rarely do they get used, but I cut the pasta before. And these aren't quite the same size portions. Remember, one's for my husband, one's for me. As I say, you could use rice, and I probably would use rice as a starter because pasta's too filling really for a starter. So I would use rice if I was doing it for a starter. And there's your pasta. Serving spoon. There we go. However you want. As I say, it's a bit uneven, but I don't eat quite as much as my husband does. So, juice is it's a nice sauce, like pasta likes. Remember in Italy, they don't have lots of sauce on their pasta actually. It's they don't drown it in sauce like we do in this country. So, I'm going to serve it now. And I have a little bit of black pepper. Just nice and tiny. Sprinkle of parmesan. I love parmesan cheese with pasta. And then I've got some fresh coriander that I'm going to sprinkle on top. Gives a lovely flavour, that. There you are, chilli pasta, prawn pasta, quick as a flash, tasty, delicious, nutritious, not that expensive if you think about it. With the pasta, what? £4.50 because I got the prawns at a bargain. If you do the same, I'm sure you'll be able to do the same. I hope you enjoy it.